Welcome to Strategy Saturday. I'm Charles Carillo, and today we're going to be discussing, should I get my real estate license? Have you always wanted to invest in real estate but didn't have the time, didn't know where to find the deals, couldn't get the funding, and didn't want tenants calling you? Since 2006, I've been buying income-producing properties in great locations that provide us with consistent passive income while we wait for appreciation in the future and take advantage of tax laws while we're waiting. And unlike your financial advisor, we invest alongside our investors in every property we purchase. Check out investwithharborside.com. If you like the idea of investing in real estate, if you like the idea of passive income, partner with us at investwithharborside.com. That's investwithharborside.com. This is a question I commonly get from new investors that are wondering if it's worth their time to get a license. I am a Florida licensed real estate agent. I'm not a realtor though. I got my license during the height of 2020 COVID. However, helping others buy and sell properties is not something I focus on, but having a license allows me to legally get paid on real estate deals, usually when I refer a buyer or seller to a realtor. I personally like the idea of getting paid on referrals since they do not require much time, and since I am not a realtor, it forces me to stay in my lane because I do not have the same access to the MLS as I would if I was a realtor, and my annual fees to be a licensed Florida real estate agent are less than $50 per year. Typically, when I make a referral, I make $2,000 to $4,000 for not doing much work. I have a list of realtors in Florida that I know and who work mainly with investors. And when someone asks me for an agent, I make the introduction and my work is done. Another reason why I got my license was because we have another business we started years back that markets to home sellers that want to sell their home for cash. Similar to making a referral to an agent, we would send these leads to cash home buyers we work with throughout the state of Florida, and having a license made this a much cleaner transaction since I'm a licensed real estate agent and I'm able to be paid on real estate transactions because in most situations, I'm not a principal in the transaction. So in Florida, it's actually a third-degree felony for unlicensed practice of real estate, which includes marketing someone else's property for compensation. In other words, representing buyers and sellers of real estate. My last reason is that there's a possibility I will open a real estate management company down the road for smaller Florida properties. After 2 years of being a real estate agent in Florida, it allows me the ability to become a broker, which allows me the ability to manage other people's properties, not just my own. The question I normally hear is, should I get my real estate license? And it depends. So what are your goals within real estate? I've been a real estate investor since 2006, and I got my license in 2020. It is definitely not a requirement, but if your business is around wholesaling property or working with investors normally, I would certainly suggest getting it. Wholesaling without a license is a gray area, and if you normally are working with investors, it would allow you the ability to make referrals and earn additional income without doing much work. Speed is a big factor for investors. You do not need to wait for a real estate agent to walk a property if you're a realtor. Access is another big factor. If a property comes up for sale, you can literally access that property right away by yourself without another agent since you get access to the lockbox and then enter the property. Receiving a commission on properties you are purchasing or selling. Most properties sold in the U.S. are sold with a 5% commission, usually 2.5% to the buyer and 2.5% to the seller. You can now receive or save a portion of the property commission if you are listing the property or are purchasing a property since you are representing yourself. This all sounds great, right? Well, the downfall is that getting a license takes time. In Florida, you need to take a 63-hour course and then pass a state exam, which I imagine is pretty similar in other states. You're required to take another exam within 2 years of getting your license, and there is a continuing education every 2 years after that, which I believe is about 15 hours. You are held to a higher standard when compared to normal non-agent investors, which I feel is not really a huge deal because it would not change how I do business, but some investors do not like this. You must disclose you are an agent in any real estate transaction. I put into my real estate email signature as well. And this might be construed as a disadvantage, but I disclose it right away and it never seems to be an issue. If I'm contacting an owner directly to purchase their property, I disclose it right away and tell them they are not paying for any fees. Since I am purchasing their property, I am not listing it. Now, getting my license was a great way to maximize my income from real estate across the board. Even though I am focused on syndicating large commercial and multifamily properties with passive investors, I'm continually having people reach out to me online or face-to-face that want to purchase their own property and that allow me to make a referral and then move on. The real estate license allows you to double dip on your own transactions as well, as a buyer or as a seller. My goal in the show is to teach people how to obtain financial freedom through real estate investing. Do not make the mistake of becoming an agent and thinking you will automatically have financial freedom. Yes, if you reinvest your agent earnings correctly into real estate, it will allow you to become financially free, but becoming an agent does not mean you are an investor, since you're still trading time for money. Lastly, when you hang your license with a broker, make sure the broker and their brokerage fees complement what you're trying to achieve. My broker, for instance, charges me $100 per year and $100 per deal, whether that's if something I sell or something I buy or whatever it is. It is very straightforward, and there are very hands-on brokerages and very hands-off brokerage. This is a very hands-off brokerage, and they're not going to train me and they're not going to provide leads. Now, you can go to some that are very hands-on and they will have leads ready for you. But you're going to be giving away more of your commission, but also it allows you to walk in and get started right away, not having to build a brand first and then start getting clients. So I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe. Look forward to 2 more episodes next week. See you then.
Nothing in this episode should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Any investment opportunities mentioned on this podcast are limited to accredited investors. Any investments will only be made with proper disclosure, subscription documentation, and are subject to all applicable laws. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions of guests are their own. Information is not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. The host is operating on behalf of Syndication Superstars, LLC exclusively.